Hey y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm Ali.
I'm Shawn.
This is a Little Hill Craft Company. Well, that's...
That's my little homestead shirt.
Okay, we have two channels. This is our new channel. This is our craft channel, where we'll be doing all kinds of tutorials, sewing, woodworking, I mean, you name it, we're going to try to do it for this channel. Our other channel that we have is Little Hill Homestead, which I will link below. And it is geared towards cooking, canning, gardening, chickens, things like that. So we have, that is our original channel. It's been there for 2 years if you want to go check it out. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Absolutely. Some of the things we have coming up, we have tomato cages. I know that's not going to be till next year that we start planting tomatoes again, but I'm going to show you guys how to use some tomato cages on the woodworking side. We're going to do a bunch of sewing projects.
On this channel.
On this channel.
I get confused because we have two channels. So this channel we have, I told you guys, we have a wristlet tutorial coming up. We're going to show you guys how we make our, you guys asked for this, how we make our labels that
That's
we sew
coming up.
onto our stuff.
We've answered a lot of comments for you guys, and it's coming up.
Probably more quilts.
Lots of things.
Bowl koozies, that's for sure coming up. I mean, anything you guys ask for, we're going to try. How about that? We may fail at it, but we're going to try.
We're going to try.
Anyways, we thought that, I don't know about you, but when I see somebody in a space, I kind of like to know about the space or what it looks like or what I'm seeing. So we thought we would give you a tour of our craft room and where probably 90-80% of the videos are going to be filmed.
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's do it.
There you guys go. Let's go. So we have a giant table. It's an 8 foot by 4 foot that we built. Okay, let's start with this space. What is this space? When we moved into our house, the people who had owned it previous to us converted it from a 2-car garage into a room. So you can still tell it's a garage, but it's fully enclosed. There's no more garage door, and it has carpet and stuff. The only thing it doesn't have is central heat and air ran to it, so we do have a window unit, so you'll hear that in some of the videos, but it's fine. But our kids, all 3 of them, were in this room for like 8-9 years. Yeah. It was their gaming room.
It's their gaming room. Yeah.
And 2 of our kids moved out a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago. So there's one that's in this corner. So we will not show that corner most likely because it's still his space. But we took over the rest of it because when your kids move out, you need a hobby, right?
His office is actually down in my workshop. He works for me, so. Yeah.
So if you're new around here, we have an Etsy shop, littlehillhomestead.etsy.com. Our youngest son, who's 20, works for us. He does the woodworking. So we'll show you some of the trugs he does later. And he does that with my husband, Shawn.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about that. But that's what our space is. So if you're like, what is this room? And why are there so many doors? It's because it used to be a garage. All right, let's go. So we have this table in the middle of our room. We built it using 9 cube cubbies on each end, and we'll show you a little bit more of that from Walmart. Right? Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 of those on each end. We bought this, what is this called? Table topper stuff? It's a technical term. From Home Depot.
I know what it's called.
And we added this edge to it to make it look finished. And then we took some just simple shelves. Anyways, you can see the video on that on the other channel. I will link it. But this is our main workspace. So it's an 8 foot by 4 foot table. We have brisker cutting mats for the most part. We use rotary tools up here. We can clean it off and do big quilts on it.
Big quilts, yep.
But for the most part, it's set up like this. So we'll give you a tour of kind of what we store on it too. So like I was saying, we have a 9 cube cubby that is the base for our table on each end. But I wanted to show you kind of what we store in these cubbies.
What's this over here?
Flaxseed. Yeah, that's for the chickens.
That's for the chickens.
So I was able to find these baskets on Amazon that fit pretty much perfectly in here. We also have another piece of furniture, but what do we store? This is product for our Etsy shop. These are the bowl covers. You guys saw the tutorial recently. These are all bowl covers that are completed. We take them to our craft shows, as well as our Etsy store. Shawn is awesome with woodworking, and so he did make me a quarter circle so we can cut our bowl covers a little bit easier than one giant circle. So we do keep a couple templates in here for our products. These are bowl covers that are not finished. Look at these patterns, you guys. We're coming up with new patterns for probably 2026. So these were a couple that I thought, oh my gosh, cows How cute is that with like a black plaid? Yep. And then this other one, it's like farm life with like tractors and cows and chickens. So that might be around in 2026 or maybe by Christmas. We'll see. Down here, these are all fat quarters. I store them separate from my fabric just so I kind of know where they are. And I just have those in a plastic tub. Next to that, these are things we use for our Etsy orders. Elastic, these are for our homemade bread bags. There's some quilt edging down there. More templates for some of our other products. That's that stuff. This is like my junk drawer. This is all stuff. This is zippers. This is magnetic closures. These are, you guys know these from our most recent video. These are the key fobs. These are handles for the purses that we make. We make vintage purses and we make quilted purses. I'll show you a couple of those when we get over there, but we'll show you in a video. This is like little tidbits, extra scissors, quilt basting spray, pins, that kind of stuff. Over here, this is the supplies that I use for making our labels. They're an iron-on transfer like I showed you with this kind of ribbon, so I will have that soon. And then for our Etsy shop, we do 9x13 hot pads that are quilted, and we do a larger one we call a canning mat. These are the backers that we have pre-cut for that. We try to keep it organized, but honestly, you guys, I just cleaned it. This is not normal. Like I was saying, we have just some big shelves that Shawn added, and there's a ton of weight on them. They did bow a little, and so we are gonna add some wood, but we'll get to that later. This side, all this fabric, this is basically what we use for our Etsy shop, our handmade bags. We do makeup cubes, we do wristlets, all kinds of stuff. So these are the basic fabrics that we use for most of those for the Etsy shop. So I keep them separate from like...
We have a hanger for like our cutting tools and things like that too.
Yeah, we keep this fabric kind of separate from what I call the general public down at the end. I'll show you in a second, just so that we don't use it in other projects and run out of it. These are projects I'm supposed to be working on but don't have done yet. These are mostly just solid fabrics. And then, yeah, this is all the vintage linens that I use for my bags. Look at that one. OMG. I mean, somebody handmade that. So we're going to be turning this. I was showing you nothing. Boom. We're going to be turning some of these into purses to sell in our Etsy shop soon. Our other 9 cube on the other end, this is all fabric. This one is just like, I don't know what this is. This is Christmas and some random stuff, but I try to do blue, black, reds and pinks, yellows and oranges, tans and browns, green, gray, and that one down there is like just miscellaneous patterned stuff. So we have it folded, but this is like, we get a lot of stuff from thrift stores. Some of our subscribers have sent us stuff, but it's all stuff, this is what I call the general population. So anybody can use it. They can come in here and start any project and I won't get mad at them. Shawn. The last side of our table. Like I was saying, we do hot pads. So we have some pre-cut hot pad stuff down here. We use Insulbright, which is like a heat-resistant liner. We're gonna be doing a canning mat for you guys really soon to show you kind of how we make them. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get to our finished products. Scrap, we have a lot of scrap fabric. We have tons and tons of scraps. And I'll explain to you why when we get to Shawn's quilt wall. This, what are these, 2-inch squares?
Yep.
I think, yeah. And then Pull, which is a waterproof fabric that we use in some of our products as well. A lot of you guys who saw the bowl cover tutorial were asking how you can make it waterproof. If you do Pull, P-U-L, which is like initials for something, I don't remember what, it does make them waterproof. So it comes in different colors. We just buy white. Okay, let me take you to the sewing area. Okay, so this is our sewing desk. We started originally with a couple random desks and a weird, we've really redone this room in the last 6 months. We got this double desk on Amazon. It has drawers down the middle, but Shawn can have his station and I can have mine, and it just is along this whole wall. We really like it. It's working really well for us. It fits a couple trash cans. We can fit a few unfinished projects in it, and we slightly moved it away from the wall so that when you're doing quilts or things like that, it can fall down into that space so you don't end up with a weird bunch. Like I was saying, we have an Etsy shop. 14 times now I've said that. So we have the names and the patterns of our most sold items up here so that we don't have to constantly go on our computer and see what the heck they are. We also make bread bags, and we have the clips of each pattern that we have by name, so that if Shawn's gonna come in here and pull fabric for me, he knows which one he's pulling.
That sounds about right.
This is my station that I primarily work at. I have a Janome. I don't remember the name of it. I've had it for like 6 months or so. I really do like it. It's a little bit slow, but it's great for piecing quilts and stuff like that. So that is my primary one because Shawn stole the other one from me. I did get this chair because I was having issues with my back hurting. And so I got this chair. It's supposed to be really good for support on your lower back when you're sitting for a long time quilting. It's super cushy. It doesn't have rollers, but I can sit crisscross applesauce on it if I want to. But basically I just use it. The next sewing station that we've got, this is our Juki. We have a TL2000QI. We've had this one for probably 4 or 5 years now, to be honest. This is a semi-industrial machine. It is a workhorse and it can sew through lots of layers.
It's mine.
It's Shawn's. It was mine when I taught him to sew not quite a year ago. He learned on this machine. He's the most comfortable on it. So this is now his. I do use it. It's not exclusively his. I do use it. But if we're in here sewing together, he's on this one and I'm on the Janome. But if you're looking for a good quilt machine that can do thick layers and a lot, this is a good machine for under $1,000. Black Friday, by the way, if you're in the US. This wall, like I showed you, we have our hot pads and our canning mat stuff, the pictures. We did replace the light because we needed more light because we're over 40 and our eyes don't work. So we did replace the light with a bathroom sconce and put some really bright light bulbs in it. And then I had this big space on the wall. And so, let me come over here and then you can back up. So we had this space on the wall and I really wanted to put something that was ours. So Shawn had these quilts that he's been making. And originally we really wanted to donate to like neonatal intensive care or kids with cancer or something along those lines. But we've learned that so many people that do quilts donate to those causes. They don't really need more, which is crazy to us. But the funny thing is, on our Homestead channel, we have met a lot of, we call them mature, women. And God has really put them in our life. And so Shawn, maybe 4 months ago, I would say, 5 months ago, said that God was putting on his heart to make quilts to donate to elderly care facilities. So these are some of his pieces that are a little bit small for that purpose, but we are in the works of doing that. So we don't know where that's going to take us or what we're going to do with it, but it is something we're going to be working on soon. He uses all scrap from our Etsy shop, and we donate these. So he does beautiful designs. He's super intricate and does tiny little squares, and he learned to sew only about 6 to 8 months ago, I would say. Yeah, he's very talented, you guys. I'll show you, he has a piece over there that is probably gonna be one that we are gonna donate to. We're looking for like a local nursing home, but we're looking for maybe one that's state ran for people that actually need this stuff. So that's what that is. Anyways, let me take you to
something to bring them joy.
Yeah, people need joy. Like, that's our whole point of all of our channels, is to bring joy to people. So anyways, the next area we have, this is our ironing station. We had a typical ironing board we've had it forever. It's from like literally 20 years ago, but it was too small for what we were currently doing. And so we have this old dresser. We've had it forever, actually. It is currently full of Wii games and PlayStation games, and I need to clean it out, and VHS tapes. But that's getting cleaned out eventually, but where do you put that stuff? Anyways, we got a piece of wood at Home Depot. It was
press board.
It was already this size.
Chipboard.
Chipboard?
Yeah, that was chipboard. This is press
cheap
board.
wood, whatever you guys got. We put a layer of Insulbrite, which is that heat resistant material, and we covered the whole board. Then we had an old wool blanket. You can use wool ironing pads, but they're really expensive. And so we had an old wool blanket. We like quartered it, 4 times it. It's really thick. Then we got this cheap fabric on clearance and we wrapped the whole thing and stapled it. So it's really good and solid and heat resistant, and this is what we use to iron on. I should have picked a darker color. That is all in that. So we do keep a light over here because again, we are over 40 and we are blind. And then we keep a couple tools up here that are easy to grab. So we have some good scissors and some snippers and a pitcher of water. Oh, like we said, we have an Etsy shop. So our needs are a little bit different than maybe somebody who's just crafting. But if you have an Etsy store, there you go. We got this hutch that matches our desk on the other side of the room, and we use it for our Etsy orders for the most part. We also run two YouTube channels, so our needs are a little bit different. This is all camera equipment that I just shoved into a container, but this is all stuff that we use for our Etsy shop. So we have an iPad that we use for our Etsy orders. We've got our business cards, some little papers that we include with certain products. Sometimes we include little Jesus figurines. It's our little, I don't know. Anyways, we won't go into that. We have a printer in here because we're going to be using that for our labels when we make those. And then we have a label printer. That's what we do all our address labels on. This was a really cheap one on Amazon, but it works really, really well. Shawn built this because when we ship certain sizes, we need to make sure that they can fit in this slot to go to the post office. So he built me a little container for that. These are our tax documents for YouTube and Etsy. So that's fun, right? Not really. We have these same containers. They're the fabric basket containers. We keep basically all of our packing material goes into these baskets. So I have one size of our envelopes in here, a different one in that one, and big ones down at the bottom. They're all like poly mailers. And then this is stuff for, these are plastic bags like for packing product in that we make cute, and our label stuff. And then we have like extra tape, extra shipping labels, things like that down below. This is like a packing station for our Etsy shop. So we have just a really cheap table that fit here. We keep, these are stickers that we put on all of our Etsy packages. We made these just printable labels so that we can just stick them on packages. This is my trash can. We sell sourdough starters. I have some ready to go because we do sell a lot of this. And so I have these ready to go with the documents needed and the sourdough. We sell the polymer clay jewelry like you guys saw in one of our most recent videos. So we do all kinds of different ones. I love this one because it stands so far off of the thing. Anyways, so we've got that stuff there, so it's easy grab. So if somebody places an order, we have a scale because we have to weigh things for shipping. And then down here, these are the trugs that my husband and my son build. They're basically garden baskets with a wooden handle, but it can swing to be out of the way. Cool thing with these is you can rinse them off with the hose so your vegetables are clean. And we have them in different colors, and yeah. So we keep some of those up at the house, and then we have more down in the garage. These are the boxes we use for that, packing material, that kind of stuff. I'll let Shawn show you this at the very end, so I'll put it over here so I don't forget. Now, you guys know, like I said, we have two channels. We have this one, and then we have a food one. So we have a lot of food stuff. So down here, I have an ice cream maker, a bread machine, and a dehydrator that I don't have room for anywhere else. So they are hidden down there. Not so hidden since I'm announcing it. We got these shoe racks off of Amazon. They are super duper lightweight. I think they were like $15 a piece. They were not expensive at all, but it is great for our Etsy products. So it came with these little S-hooks that hang on the side, and that is great for our handmade purses. So like I was saying, we use vintage linens. This one has hair on it. We use vintage linens to make purses with our cute little label. So I have some of those hanging on here. The products we sell, I'm gonna run through really fast. We sell runners. These are a 4-foot runner that you can put on your table, but they're heat resistant. So they're like a giant hot pad. We sell bread bags. I don't have one out, but they're basically for people that do homemade bread. These are our vintage purses, and then these are like our quilted ones that we sell. Pull one out so you can see. They're basically just a quilted bag with a handle that goes all the way down, and then we put a cute matching fabric on the inside. We can show you something tutorial-wise similar to this soon. Then we've got, Shawn makes 7x7-inch hot pads. He makes those as kind of like giveaways, and we sell them at local craft shows. We have our 9x13 hot pads that we quilt We do all different designs. We probably need to do a restock of that. These are the cubed makeup bags.
I think she just told me to go to work.
Yeah, I said, get to work, bro. These are our cube makeup bags. I really need to flip them up and make them cute again because they got a little smashed. But we have a bunch of those. Then these are key fobs. You guys have seen those in our recent video. And then these are our canning mats. So we'll be showing you guys this soon, but these are basically a giant hot pad for people that do canning, or if you do meal prep and stuff like that, you can fit like a couple cookie sheets on here and do that kind of thing. So those are the last thing that we keep over here for our Etsy shop.
So I've got the backer for it. I just need to finish putting it together, but it's all put together here.
Okay, let me turn you around because the light behind you is making it look really weird. You can see through it. Oh, that's much better.
You're supposed to do it like this, right? Like,
you're supposed to roll it and drop it. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So Shawn's been working on this quilt, but then I called him off to do 2 craft shows, so he hasn't finished it.
Yeah. So this is one I started building, and Ali told me, you know, she's been teaching me about colors and kind of putting things together, and she's really good at it. She's creative side. But this one, I went, you know what? I really want to put these kind of pastels together, and I know everything's not going to match, but I think it's going to go together very well. And Ali was like, okay, you know, that'll work, I guess. Put it together, and she goes, oh, I'm keeping that. So this one may not be donated, but this one may stay at our house. But put this together, I'm going to get the backer on it, and we'll get that one done. But we do have a plan, like Ali was saying. We're going to put a lot of quilts together. Not even in our spare time. We're going to take time to put quilts together and so we can donate them. Because, like Ali said, the Lord's telling us that's something we can do for Him and for the people in our community. So we'll be working on that, but this one we're probably going to keep.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, let me give you guys one more quick glance. Yeah, we have doors everywhere. So water heater, this goes to our kitchen. This is our main entrance door. These are both pantries. We have pantry tours on our other channel, and then we can. So Shawn built a canning rack over there. So it's a multi-purpose area. I mean, it really is a work in progress a little bit. This couch over here, by the way, is leaving. We're not gonna have that in here anymore because we just got an industrial sewing machine from Vever that is gonna be sitting on that wall. So that'll be updated soon. It arrived with a little ding, and so we're in the process of working with that company to get it fixed. Either way, here you guys go. But we thought we'd bring you along, show you where we kind of are as you're watching our videos. I hope you guys found this interesting enough to keep watching. Does this button make me turn back around so people can see us? No, I don't know what that button does. What does that do? Anyways, we'll learn about our equipment, and stick around, you guys, because we'll be showing you more soon.